everyone, James Baek, and it's time for some more VGC 2015 battles from the Doubles Battle Spot Ladder. Today's team will be Slowbro, Raichu, Scrafty, Clefairy, Landers, Varian, and Heatran. So we're going to be trying out Mega Slowbro, and I'm going to show you guys my personal strategy when using Mega Slowbro. Anyway, just a quick notice, tomorrow there actually won't be any video because I'll be home late tomorrow, and Battle Spot Ladder will be down by the time I get home, so I will not be able to record tomorrow. Our first opponent today will be Conti from Spain, 1851 rating, and I really hope I can actually get a battle into this because I have faced two opponents who disconnected. So hopefully this guy won't disconnect, but we've got a team of Kangaskhan, Rotom Wash, Aegislash, Talonflame, Terrakion, and Amoonguss. This team is actually quite troublesome for my Slowbro, but my Heatran paired with Slowbro and my Raichu should actually be able to do some decent work against this team. I feel like Scrafty does seem pretty good, but my opponent will probably anticipate this and bring Pokemon to counteract. I especially don't see any reason to bring the Terrakion into this game, as Terrakion serves no purpose. But the rest of his Pokemon certainly do. I think the most worthless on his team would be probably the Talonflame. So I'm probably assuming that Kangaskhan, Rotom Wash, Aegislash, and Amoonguss will be his Pokemon. So I'm going to lead Slowbro and Raichu. It's my go-to lead, with Heatran for the Amoonguss and the Aegislash, and Clefairy in the back, because Clefairy's Follow Me will be quite handy in this game. Probably should have wrote that team down, so going to try and remember team: Kangaskhan, Talonflame, Rotom Wash, Amoonguss, Aegislash, and who was the last one? Terrakion. He actually leads Terrakion and Rotom, which I am fine with, as I'm going to lead Slowbro and Raichu, and I'm absolutely fine by this. Because right now, I can easily set up the Calm Mind, hoping for no flinches with Rock Slide, and fake out the Rotom. And if he decides to protect, I'll just Encore him into the next game. So there's nothing really my opponent could do to stop this, unless he's Taunt on his Terrakion. So let's see if he has Taunt or not. I highly doubt, because Taunt Terrakion isn't really a big thing. But we actually do see the Taunt, wow. And ironically, I carry Oblivious on this Slowbro, so that's kind of ironic. But right now, I can actually Encore this Terrakion into the Taunt if I want to, but my opponent will probably see this and switch out. So I'm going to Side Shock the Terrakion. And I think I'm going to set up the... No, I have no reason to set up Light Screen right now. I think I'm going to Thunderbolt the Terrakion. Just double into the Terrakion, as he's not going to switch out. Wow, the Thunderbolt is going to do some decent damage onto Terrakion. We're going to see the close combat onto the Raichu. Interesting, as that's going to break down Raichu into its Focus Sash. He might be just trying to aggressively target into this Raichu, which I'm actually fine with if that's the case. And Rotom, I'm going to go for the Hydro Pump, and yes, it's going to connect with my Raichu and knock it out, which I'm fine with. Wow, I probably shouldn't have made it with Slowbro, but I thought Rock Slide Flinch was sort of obvious, as the Side Shock is going to connect with this Terrakion, and that should be an OHKO. Yep. Oh, critical hit. It probably didn't matter since Close Combat lowered its defenses even further. So, right now, I think I want to bring Clefairy out right now. This Clefairy is going to come out, and we're probably going to see Kangaskhan? Yeah, Kangaskhan. We're probably going to see the Fake Out and the Thunderbolt. So I'm just going to Scald this Kangaskhan, hope for a burn, and protect, because there's nothing I can really do about this, as Kangaskhan is going to Mega Evolve. He could even Power Punch his own Rotom Wash, or go for Power Punch onto Slowbro. Either one of these plays are viable. But I'm going to protect with Clefairy, and let's see what this Kangaskhan will do. It might even fake out the Slowbro, but it's going to actually go for the Power Punch into Clefairy, which I am fine with because I did protect, and that Thunderbolt's going to do a decent amount to my Slowbro, as Scald is going to connect with this Kangaskhan, and it's not much, but it gets a burn, which is quite vital in this game. And Slowbro's Taunt wears off, which is actually a really fantastic time to right now. As right now, I can start setting up the Calm Mind and Follow Me, and I don't have to worry about these two Pokemon being able to knock out my Clefairy right now. Follow Me is going to happen with my Clefairy and the Power Up Punch from the Kangaskhan, which is actually going to put it at neutral, but I'm fine with that, as he doesn't have much that can target my Clefairy down right now, as we're going to see his Kangaskhan raise its attack, and let's see, the Rotom Wash goes for the Thunderbolt onto the Clefairy because of the Follow Me. Not doing much damage at all, and Slowbro is actually able to set up the Calm Mind, which is absolutely fantastic right now. I kind of wish I was able to set up earlier because I was actually in a pretty good position too, but oh well. As Kangaskhan going to be hurt by the burn, and right now there are two plays I can make here. I can Scald the Kangaskhan, which doesn't seem bad at all. Or I could slack off for HP. But I think I'm going to Psyshock the Kangaskhan. And Follow Me with Clefairy. I was thinking about protecting Clefairy, but I feel like I'm going to actually... I don't want to return and Thunderbolt into my Slowbro. As we are going to see the return for Kangaskhan, let's see how much it will do. And that's going to actually pick up the knock on Clefairy, so wow. Maybe I underestimated the neutral Kangaskhan, but I'm fine with that. Slowbro is going to take a Thunderbolt from this Rotom Wash, and that's super effective, and it's probably going to faint due to one more, and the Psyshock is going to connect with the Kangaskhan, which is going to pick up the knockout thanks to the +1. However, if I went for the Slack off there, I actually might have been in a much better position. Especially since Kangaskhan wasn't a threat looking back at it now, but we're going to see Talonflame as my opponent's last Pokemon, and we're going to see Heatran as my last Pokemon. So right here, I'm really backed into the corner, but I feel like if my opponent misplays and goes for a Brave Bird onto the Slowbro and the Hydro Pump onto my Heatran, he's done for. So I'm going to substitute with my Heatran and slack off. I'm really hoping my opponent decides to goes for the Brave Bird into the Slowbro and the Hydro Pump, because I'm pretty sure I can live a Brave Bird from the Talonflame, unless it's Choice Banded. Brave Bird into the Heatran slot. But let's see, what does the Rotom goes for? Is I get the free substitute off. Might have just went for the Thunderbolt. It goes for the Thunderbolt, but can I live? I don't know, maybe, oh no. Slowbro is going to go down, and unfortunately, that will pretty much be the game, and I'm going to forfeit here because I want to save your guys' time. I mean, I can win based off a bunch of Hydro Pump misses, but I know my luck and it's not that great. So, I will take that loss, but I should have probably just calm-minded, especially since I've seen Taunterakion before. Unfortunately, but I don't know. I felt like it was really against the odds that this Terrakion would have had Taunt, but he did have Taunt. Kind of surprised he brought Talonflame into this game, though. I guess he was really worried about the Scrafty. But anyway, we live and learn. That's how I live, and we are going to find a second battle, and hopefully we can take that game. Our next opponent today will be Matt with 1908 from Texas, and I have faced Matt multiple times before, and we are going to see the team of Amoonguss, Kangaskhan, Talonflame, Rotom Wash, Landorus, Sparian, and Bisharp. So this team is actually not bad against my Mega Slowbro because Bisharp, Amoonguss, and Rotom Wash are all great ways to deal with it. And unfortunately, I don't know what I want to do against this team. I especially don't have a really big counter to some of these Pokemon. So I think I'm going to leave Raichu and Slowbro. It's basically my all-2 lead when I do not know what to bring. And I think I want to bring Landorus and Clefairy. Or do I want to bring my Heatran? Or I could... I don't really like my Scrafty in this, so I'm thinking about leaving Clefairy out, but I think Friend Guard's important here. So I'm gonna lock in. Heatran would be really nice here, though, now that I'm thinking about it, but I cannot risk the Landorus, the Rotom Wash, and the Kangaskhan knocking it out and having a Slaughterfest, so hopefully this will work, but it might not. And if it doesn't work, oh wow, that's going to be problematic. Especially since it's very unlikely he'll bring all 4 of the Pokemon I mentioned. He probably won't bring all Amoonguss, Kangaskhan, Rotom Wash, and Bisharp just because he'll probably bring Bisharp, no doubt about it, but I don't think he wants to leave Landers out because it's his best way to deal with the Heatran. Of course, he can't play around that, but I think Rotom Wash... It's either Landers or Rotom Wash, but I think a Landers might be here. I don't think he might not bring a Amoonguss actually, now that I'm thinking about it. So I'm hoping he doesn't bring a Amoonguss, because Amoonguss is probably the biggest problem for Slowbro. Even though it's got that stab Psy Shock for it, the Spore is just really a disruptor to my Slowbro strategy. But Max is running down the timer, and we're going to get started with this battle. I don't have to write his team down since I really remember this guy. We battled like a few times off camera. So Max is probably going to leave with Bishop and Kangaskhan, I would assume. No, Rotom and Kang, which I'm absolutely fine with, to be honest, because the worst this Rotom can really do is go for the Will-O-Wisp. So I'm going to Calm Mind, and I think I'm going to fake out the Kangaskhan. Of course, Max, one of the plays he usually does is automatically switches out his Kangaskhan into Landers, which could be an issue, but please tell me you didn't do it. Oh, Amoonguss. Okay, I was just about to say for a second. I was hoping he wouldn't. But that Amoonguss is a really smart switch for Max. I think it has Rocky Helmet, and that's going to break the sash of my Raichu. So the Fake Out is going to connect with the Amoonguss, not going to help, really. Oh, it doesn't even have it, and Will-O-Wisp and Slowbro is the one to avoid the attack. As I'm going to get this Calm Mind up for free, basically, and that's going to help a lot. As the Calm Mind's going to allow me to wall these special attacks. And we see the Black Sludge from the Amoonguss, which is understandable. But I need to target down this Amoonguss straight away, go for the Psyshock and the Thunderbolt onto the Rotom. Or I could set up the Light Screen, but I'd rather just go for the Thunderbolt onto the Rotom. Not sure what he wants to do, if he wants to get rid of my Raichu or just go for the Spore. As we see the Hydro Pump from the Rotom onto the Raichu, which I'm fine with. That's going to do a decent chunk, as Slowbro does get a Psyshock off onto this Amoonguss, which is really helpful. And, oh, barely Okos. If I had just Thunderbolted that Amoonguss slot, things would be looking a lot better, but my Slowbro is going to be put to sleep. However, this isn't so bad as I thought. I thought Amoonguss would be hanging out with a lot more, so now I can Calm Mind, and I'm going to try to set up the Light Screen, because that means my Raichu will be able to live another turn from the Hydro Pumps. And, let's see, Amoonguss and Rotom really can't hurt my Slowbro with Giga Drain and Thunderbolt. He actually might switch in Kangaskhan here, which would make sense, because he can set up the Power Punches right away. But we'll see what my opponent wants to go for. Getting this Light Screen will be huge for me, as Slowbro is already special wall with the +1 in special defense. We are going to see the Amoonguss switch out into the Kangaskhan. Yep, the Kangaskhan, and that's fine by me, because I do get this Light Screen up for free. The Light Screen from the Raichu, which is going to help my special defense immensely. And we're going to see the Hydro Pump from the Rotom into the Raichu, which won't OHKO unless it gets a crit. No, it doesn't get a crit. And that's so glad for me. As right here, I'm going to Scald the Kangaskhan. Actually, what play would my opponent do? There are two plays. He can Fake Out the Slowbro, he could go for the Power Punch, one of those, and Hydro Pump my Raichu, or he could just knock out the Raichu and go for the Thunderbolts. So I think I'm going to Scald the Kangaskhan and switch out into Clefairy, because Clefairy is actually not a bad Pokemon here, just because Clefairy allows me to have the Friend Guard up, which is very significant. As Kangaskhan's going to Mega Ball, I'm wondering what he's going for. Power Punch? I kind of doubt he would go for Sucker Punch in this situation. Oh wait, he might not even have Sucker Punch. Yeah, he has Ice Punch and is going to go to the Clefairy. Not doing much, but I'm fine with that damage, as we're going to see this Thunderbolt straight onto Slowbro, which should do a decent amount, but not much through that Light Screen, as Slowbro is actually able to wake up and get the Scald off onto this Kangaskhan, which is absolutely fantastic. And picks up the burn onto the Kangaskhan, which is absolutely fantastic. As now Kangaskhan is now burned, and right now, I'm going to Psyshock this Kangaskhan and protect my Clefairy, because I have no reason to. As I am going to protect the Clefairy here just to, not, I kind of want the Friend Guard right now. As we see the Facade into Clefairy, nice. And we see the Willow into the Slowbro because Thunderbolt's not doing enough damage. However, this does help me because Amoonguss can no longer be a threat with Spores. As Psyshock is going to come onto the Kangaskhan and pick up the knockout onto this Kangaskhan, so I am up. However, that burn is going to be annoying for my Slowbro to deal with. Especially Bisharp's probably in the back, and that's going to be an annoying Pokemon to deal with. However, Amoonguss is going to come out, which I'm fine with because right now I can Psyshock the Amoonguss, and I might as well go for the Moonblast onto the Rotom Wash. And I don't know, he might be baiting the Psyshock onto the Amoonguss, but I'd rather just go for it because I do not want any of my Pokemon to fall asleep again. Amoonguss is going to protect here, which I'm fine with, to be honest. I could have actually went for the Slack Off and get some free health, as we see the Willow into the Clefairy. Absolutely fine by me because I do get a Moonblast off for free onto this Rotom, which is going to do a decent chunk and doesn't lower its special attack, unfortunately, but I'm fine with that. Amoonguss is going to heal back with its Black Sludge, and Clefairy is going to take some burn damage, which I'm fine with because right now I'm actually in a really decent position here, as I think I'm going to go for the Slack Off and the Follow Me, as I know this Rotom Wash can't knock out Clefairy with one move, and the Amoonguss is probably either going to switch out or it might want to stay in and faint, but I really think it might want to switch out here because of Regenerator health. But Amoonguss is actually going to go for the Double Protect and gets it, but that's absolutely fine by me because right here I get a free Slack Off, and I pretty much get a free switch into my my Raichu, as he goes for the Thunderbolt onto Clefairy, and that's not even going to be a knockout, as Slack Off is going to occur from the Slowbro, and that's going to heal back my Slowbro back to full HP. As the Amoonguss going to heal with its Black Sludge, but of course I'm fine with that, as Clefairy is going to take more burn damage. Of course, Slowbro's taking burn damage, but it's less insignificant, as Light Screen actually wears off, which is a pretty big deal. But right now, I might as well try to get rid of this Amoonguss right away. And I might as well Follow Me here, just because I don't want my Slowbro taking damage. If he had Bisharp, I'm pretty sure he would have switched into it by now. So, yeah, he's not going to switch out. And let's see. The Rotom's going to go for the Thunderbolt onto Clefairy. Now, let's see. I keep thinking that Amoonguss can Spore my Slowbro, but I realize that I'm burned anyway. A Psyshock is going to connect to this Amoonguss, which is going to pick up the knockout, and that's really fantastic. Absolutely fantastic for me. Slowbro going to take damage, but I'm fine with that, as now I can bring out my Raichu. And there's not much he can really do to stop a Fake Out and the combination. Let's see. Talonflame is going to be my opponent's last Pokemon, so this is absolutely fantastic. As right here, I can just Scald the Talonflame and Fake Out the Rotom, and there's nothing my opponent can really do to stop that. And he's not even going to go for the Protect. Fake Out's going to occur onto the Raichu, which is going to pop its Citrus, but of course I'm fine with that, as let's see what the Talonflame goes for. It's going to go for the Brave Bird. Who is he going to target, the Slowbro or the Raichu? It's going to KO my Raichu, it's not going to KO my Slowbro. It's going to KO my Raichu, which is fine by me because right now I get to KO this Talonflame with a Scald, and it's Rotom Wash versus my Landorus and my Slowbro, and I don't think you can win against both. Talonflame's going to go down, and now I get a free switch into my Landorus, who can, do I want to risk Rock Slides? Yeah, I think I do. As Landorus is going to come out, getting a useless Intimidate against a special attacker, which doesn't matter. And right now, I'm going to Slack Off and Rock Slide. The reason is, I think he might want to stall out the burn, so Protect is kind of obvious, but no, he's not going to go for it. Rock Slide's going to connect with this Rotom, which does a pretty good chunk. It's actually going to flinch my Rotom, so we don't know what he went for. He could have went for a Willow or probably a Hydro Pump onto Landorus. I don't see Willowing at this point. However, Slowbro's back at full HP, and right now I'm going to Psyshock and Rock Slide, and this game pretty much is over by now. Rock Slide going to connect with the Rotom single target, and I might even be able to snag another flinch. But nope, and Rotom's going to get this Hydro Pump off. Will it KO Landers though? Actually, it is. Wow. Which I'm fine with. I kind of doubt Rotom Wash would have been able to knock out my Slowbro as easily, and Psyshock should have been able to knock it out because of how much those Rock Slides did. I'm pretty sure Psyshock would have done more, to be honest, and probably put it in its knockout place anyway, and he couldn't KO the Slowbro unless he had a critical hit. So I will be taking 1 win and 1 loss in this episode, which isn't bad. The first game, I definitely screwed up by not, I don't know, because I actually faced another opponent who disconnected in the middle of the game, so I don't know which game is which, but I do know I made a mistake, and I probably, it definitely cost me the game. So whatever that mistake was, I'll be looking back at this video so you don't have to comment about it. But if you guys did enjoy this episode, be sure to give a like down below. You guys saw how awesome Mega Slowbro was, and definitely it's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Be sure to give a like, follow me on my social medias, check out my other videos, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.